So we just got the black Fiero in the shop, and we went ahead and stripped out as much of the interior as we could. We took out the seats and headliner and sprayed some Febreze in here to get the mouthpiece smell out. The rest of the interior will come out soon, but first we're going to drop the gas tank and replace the fuel pump just to make sure it works. So I'll climb under there and give you guys a look at what we're doing. Alright, so it's kind of hard to video under here, but this is the gas tank. It is in the middle. There's a bracket right there with 4 bolts. There's tie down strap and then a tie down strap right here. And all of the hose connections are right up here. We have 3 hoses, then 2 more up top, and then the electrical connections are up top somewhere. So we'll get this tank pulled out, get the fuel pump pulled out, and I'll be back in a minute. I just got back from work. This is now Monday, and we let the fuel tank soak a day with vinegar in it, which will actually help clean out some of that old fuel and just stuff in there. So now it is time to get this tank cleaned out. The fuel pump and all that, that whole assembly is all pulled out. It's got a pretty simple clip on it. Just take a screwdriver and hammer, hit it to the side, and it pops straight out. So I am going to go get this tank emptied out and then tell you guys what's going on next. Alright, so we just got the fuel tank emptied out. And I was going to put this thing in the shop, but after smelling that, that's absolutely not going inside. It's worse than the mouse pee in the car. I don't even know how to describe it. It's strong and not supposed to be breathed in. So, we're going to be doing this outside. It's not too bad in temperature out here, but it's alright. So, the tank has a little bit of surface rust on it. So, we are going to be sanding this down and just putting some black spray paint over it. It don't got to look fancy, but yeah, just something to get a little nicer so it doesn't leak. Also, the inside, I could hear some like stuff sloshing around in there, like some little flakes and stuff. So I assume there's like debris in there. So we're going to be doing a thorough rinse of the tank, so I don't have to replace like the pumps, filters, the sock, all that stuff. We're gonna do it right, clean everything right the first time. All the fuel lines on the car being flushed as well. So I'm gonna do a quick time lapse of getting this thing cleaned up and painted, and then we'll go rebuild the fuel pump. Alright, so the tank got all the rust sanded off, and we got the first coat of paint on. Again, it's not supposed to be a showstopper paint job. This is just a little something to protect the gas tank. We used Rust-Oleum, satin protective enamel, just black. Color doesn't really matter, but this should at least help the tank from further corrosion. So, alright, let's go ahead and head inside, and we will check out that fuel pump. This is the first impression of the fuel sending unit. It's got the fuel pump in there. I think there's supposed to be a pulsator right here, but looks like someone's already worked on it. There's some wires undone. Not sure where those go. On the back side. The sock we're gonna try and reuse, but new one's like $10. That still moves. I'm definitely gonna take all this apart and clean it up. Not sure if that's supposed to be cracked. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna take some pictures and take this apart and just try and see what we're working with. If you're someone watching this for educational purposes, I just wanted to show how this little sock came off because it gave me some trouble, so I didn't know how. So basically, there's that thing right there. Fuel pump will sit like that, and the sock just slides on. That just goes on that end, but it's in between this to help hold it. So just take a little flathead screwdriver and it'll pop straight off. We are going to try and reuse this sock, flush some carb cleaner through it and see how it goes. But worst case scenario, I just order a new one. It's $10, no big deal. So I'll get the rest of this taken apart and we'll get back to it. For the new pump, the kit came with the pump, that little rubber piece which will sit in the bottom of that tray. We have the new rubber hose which comes off that onto the top of the fuel pump. Then we have the new connector that needs wired in. So everything just goes back on the way it came off. So I'm going to get all that stuff done real quick and we'll be back in a minute. Alright, so we just got all the parts in, but I made the choice to go ahead and order a new one of these. I'm doing another parts order anyway. This one's a little old and not really able to be cleaned, and it would be stupid to not buy an $8 part and then have to drop the tank again. So this is going to have to wait till next week when the other parts come in. But I want to show you what is wrong with the ignition because there's quite a little bit. Not a whole lot of money in parts, just a lot of stuff, and we're going to replace it all at once just so we know it's not going to go wrong. So I already have one clip pre-recorded, so I will show that next, and then I'll show one after that. So we just got the fuel tank dropped, and we went to test spark, and multiple of the spark plug wires are cut. Luckily, the red car has a good set, so we're going to go rob the set off of that one. So after that happened, um, we just decided it's going to be easier to replace it all. We're replacing the ignition box right here, which isn't even bolted on. So someone is probably working with it already, honestly. And the plug wires, they aren't bad. We're going to get new ones. The distributor cap, not bad. We're going to get new ones. And we already have new plugs. So the only thing that could be wrong with Spark after that is something like ECU, maybe some power to the electricals or the ignition box or something. But once we get all those little small pieces replaced, it's going to really narrow down the issue. So I'm going to give you guys a little glimpse of what is going to be going on this weekend, and then we'll close out the video. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for tonight. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I think Tuesday is when we started that, maybe. I worked on it Wednesday too. Worked on it a little bit every day. But I'm tired. I need to get to bed. First, I'm going to give you guys a once over of the car just to see what the plan is for next video. All right, so this is a quick overview of the car. I am going to make a more in-depth video about stripping the exterior and interior, but for this one, this is more of a personal learning experience because I don't know what I'm doing on this car, so I don't want to go make a video tearing down a car that I don't know how to tear down. So I've been working on this one. The windshield was cracked, so we went ahead and removed that. And interior, we're stripping the doors. Rather than take off the outside and inside of the doors, because we're going to be swapping both in, I just took off the doors and we'll swap the whole door. There's nothing electrical about them. Headlight motors need rebuilt. Got all this stripped off. That side stripped off. Next video, we're going to work on power washing. We're going to get all this power wash, get spray paint, basically on the whole entire frame. That's all broken stuff. This stuff's kind of usable. Probably not going to use it. Probably going to sell it or keep it just in case. We're working on getting this back half undone. Rear bumper's disconnected. The fuel pump sending unit, all that's right there. Now back here, we got the old windshield, which it was it was a little bit of pain to get off, but we got it off. The sunroof, I guess you could call it, it came off in one piece. That came off in one piece. This is a bunch of the old stuff. Probably not going to reuse it. Again, probably going to sell it. Bunch of old interior. That stuff smells like mouse pee, which is the main reason why we're going to strip the whole interior. So that's all getting thrown away. This car is just sitting back here. Tail lights off. Got the doors over here, the good fender, and then the gas tank that we will put this together sometime later. But yeah, we're just waiting on parts now. The next video is going to be out Monday or next Friday, but just keep an eye out. If you're enjoying the project, turn on post notifications. Be sure to subscribe. Yeah, thanks everyone who's watching. Really appreciate it. Really enjoying this project.